afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Live at 4 on this Thursday. Start thinking up your pet questions.
That's right. Later this hour, veterinarian Dr. Carrie Donahue will be here to take your calls live. Mark and I will let you know when it's time to call in.
But first, top in our news today.
I don't understand what is going on. It's not to be disrespectful. It is not
Mr.
to
Brooks,
prolong the proceedings.
do you understand when I tell you not to interrupt me?
No,
do you
no,
understand when I tell you need to follow the rules of decorum?
Darrell Brooks doing anything but throughout most of today's jury trial. We'll show you why opening statements didn't begin until late this afternoon.
They're everywhere right now, but do news stations, including ours, have any choice on whether or not to air political ads? A lot of you are asking us that question, and we'll have the answer coming up.
And the president pledges to help with rising gas prices, but it's only going to provide temporary relief. Let's take a look outside. The big change, the big wind out there. Boy, after 3 nice days.
Yeah, a little bit of rain earlier today. Now the sun is back up.
Chilly and getting colder. Greg Barnhart's in the backyard. Hope you have some rocks in your pockets. Blow away.
It's not too bad down here. We're kind of sheltered right now, but you definitely can hear the wind blowing aloft here with the winds, with the trees blowing. So it has turned colder. The temperatures so far have not dropped too much yet, but behind the front, you see satellite, that front is actually pushed into northern Illinois right now. So behind it, we're dropping all the way down into the upper 40s, mid-40s. You go further north with some cloud cover, but ahead of it, you got all the way up to the 70 degrees in Chicago, too. So radar, like she mentioned, we did have a few showers earlier, but that kind of went through the rest of the area without much. It's actually now in Chicago, so actually radar looks good, and we're not expecting to see any type of showers this evening or overnight. So wind speeds are up 15 to 20 for most locations. That'll be the story really to go through this evening, and temperatures will continue to cool down. They're holding kind of steady around 60, but they should start falling here, and if we zoom in, still around 60 overall for most of the Dane County too. So as we plan out today, we look at temperatures then falling down, winds will be up and going to about the upper 40s by the time we get to midnight. And then there is a freeze watch for areas to the south. That's for them tonight or for Saturday morning. We'll see the coldest temperatures come Saturday morning. I'll fill in all the details here in a bit later in the broadcast of how cold it will get.
Greg, we'll see you then. Thank you. Opening statements in Darrell Brooks' trial are now underway after lengthy delays.
The judge once again removed Brooks from the courtroom. Brooks interrupted proceedings several times today, as he's done all week. Our Brady Mallory brings us a closer look at the holdup and why jury instructions will make this a lengthy start. Brady?
Well, Brooks has been yelling, making gestures, and at one point today, he even took off his shirt, thus delaying everything. The judge was attempting to get through procedural notes before the jury was called into the courtroom when she removed Brooks. She also removed him during jury selection for similar. Brooks is defending himself in this case. Now, here's a look at what happened today. Brooks argued with the judge about his First Amendment rights. After talking over each other for several minutes, she says his freedom of speech doesn't mean he can continue to interrupt in court.
Yes, you're being disrespectful because you're
not doing anything of the sort.
All right, he is continuously talking over me. So at this point, I'm going to find that he's forfeited his right to be present as I go through his paperwork. He's to be removed to the other courtroom until such time as he can pledge to follow the rules of decorum and civility.
Once he was put into another room, the video feed showed Brooks taking off his shirt while continuing to yell and gesture, but no audio coming through the feed because his microphone was muted. Brooks eventually returned to the courtroom earlier this afternoon. Now, even without all of the interruptions to get through, the judge has to give jury instructions for each charge Brooks faces. Now, remember, he has 76 of them. Coming up at 5, we'll show you what the prosecution is saying about all of these delays.
Brady, thank you. For some legal analysis, criminal defense attorney Jessa Nicholson joins us now.
She is not involved in this case. Jessa, great to see you.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for your help today.
Happy to be a spectator.
This is a high-profile homicide trial. Brooks faces life in prison if he's convicted. So why did the judge grant him permission to defend himself?
Well, we all have a constitutional right to represent ourselves. sometimes exercising your constitutional rights is not a good idea, but he does have that right, and assuming that he met the standard of being competent to represent himself, which this judge did a colloquy and made a finding he is, he's able to exercise that like any other citizen.
If he takes the stand, can he cross-examine himself?
Well, he can't cross-examine himself, and he can't direct himself either. So what that'll be is, we call it testifying in the narrative. So someone gets up, they tell their version of events. He will be subject to cross-examination if he chooses to testify in that format. And then for the redirect examination, he would get to talk again.
But since he's acting as his own attorney, will he be able to question families of the victims if they're called to testify?
Yes, he will. So he retains the right of confrontation and the right to cross-examine witnesses when he's acting as his own counsel.
The judge keeps referring to Illinois versus Allen. What is that?
Illinois versus Allen is a 1970 Supreme Court case that outlines when, in very egregious circumstances like this, a defendant's own bad behavior can cause partial forfeitures of certain rights.
So how can she control him?
Well, she can't. I think that's pretty clear, and I don't think anyone could. That's not a critique on the judge. But she has options under the Illinois v. Allen case. She could gag him physically. I would suggest that what we've seen is kind of the modern-day equivalent of that. We've got him, you know, on a recording in another room with a sign. She could find him in contempt of court. She's already made a record that she's disinclined to do that. And she could remove him from the proceedings completely. However, that becomes more challenging because he is representing himself. So whenever he is completely removed, he necessarily can't exercise those constitutional rights to cross-examine.
In the 18 years that you've been practicing law, have you ever seen anything like this?
No, and I've been standby counsel in a couple of cases with people who are pretty adamant about their view of the way that proceedings should go. Mr. Brooks has made some references to being what we call a sovereign citizen. It's this kind of fringe legal theory. You know, those tend to be pretty disruptive defendants, but this is really a whole different level.
What effect does this have on the jury, do you think?
Well, I imagine that most of the jurors are probably thinking one of two things. They're either thinking this guy is intentionally doing this to cause a mistrial and disrupt it, or they're concerned about his mental health.
Can you see this going forward?
Yeah, what's going to happen next? Is it going to be an automatic appeal?
I have to assume that there's going to be an appeal in this case. It seems like everything this defendant is doing is trying to, number one, cause a mistrial at the trial level, and number two, create as much of a mess of a record for the appeal as possible.
Well, he's doing a good job at it.
He is trying mightily. And I think the judge is doing her level best to maintain calm and demeanor in the courtroom. This is a hard, you know, it's a hard trial to watch for those of us who are in courtrooms every day, because you want to see justice be done and have someone have a fair trial. But just like the holding in Illinois v. Allen says, there are limits to that can be pushed with just absolutely out of line behavior.
And you've been before this judge. She can handle this, you think?
I do. I believe that. She's a former criminal defense attorney, so she's got a lot of experience in the realm of criminal defendants and their behaviors. She's an experienced judge on the bench. She's the chief judge there, I believe. So I think that she's got all of the qualifications to steer the ship to the extent that it can be steered.
We'll keep watching.
Yeah,
and we'll have you back, I'm sure.
Yeah, Jessa, thank you so much.
Jessa,
good to see you.
Thank you. In other news, Baraboo police arrested 3 men last night, including a Baraboo school district staff member, after a high school student reported that he and others were forced out of their cars by the suspects. Jim Langkamp, the district director of activity programs, was one of the 3 men arrested. Police said the students were involved in what they called homecoming-related activities, which reportedly upset the men who were arrested. Police say the teens reported the incident when they were already safe at home.
A Waukesha County judge is prohibiting voters from canceling their original absentee ballots and casting a new one. It's a practice known as ballot spoiling. A lawsuit challenged the guidance that was issued to more than 1,800 local election clerks by the State Elections Commission. It detailed how the clerks could spoil an absentee ballot at the request of the voter after it had already been returned. The judge, Brad Schimmel, was Attorney General from 2015 to 2019. He ordered the Election Commission to rescind its guidance. He also denied a request to put his oral ruling on hold. Well, if you watch any television lately, political ads, as you know, are often designed to make you mad, and some of them certainly do.
Mad enough that some of you have called and emailed us asking why we choose to air them.
Political reporter Will Keneally explains. Do we have a choice here, Will?
So not really. For many TV stations like ours, our hands are tied. If a candidate comes to us with an ad to run, in most cases, we have to run them. And just as a quick note here, the political ads that run on our air are handled by our sales department, which works independently from our newsroom. So why do stations not have a say in the political ads that run on our air? UW-Madison professor Katie Culver says it goes back to the early days of television. Regulators wanted candidates' messages to come across unfiltered by station owners.
They're not allowed to edit or censor these ads, almost entirely. The protection of the advertising for the candidate is truly robust.
So essentially, if a station runs political ads from any candidate in a given race, they have to run them for all candidates in that race. That's at least for state level, but for federal candidates, TV stations can't say no. But that comes with some protections for the station. If there's some kind of slander in a political ad, the TV station that airs it can't be sued. You'd have to sue the candidate that made the ad instead. And so some of these rules also govern how much airtime candidates get. For example, if a presidential candidate does a bit on a comedy show, is that an unfair advantage? We'll have more on that coming up tonight at 5.
We'll see you then. Thank you. The White House is expressing dismay at the decision by OPEC to reduce its output. Yesterday, the energy cartel announced it was lowering production by 2 million barrels a day in order to boost prices, its biggest cut since the start of the pandemic. OPEC's cut goes into effect in November, raising the prospect of gas prices spiking, costing consumers more to heat their homes and at the gas pump.
We are not endangering the energy markets. We are providing security, stability to the energy markets. Everything has a price. Energy security has a price as well.
To counter the reduction, President Biden is expected to order the release of up to 10 million gallons of oil from the U.S. Strategic Petroleum Reserve, but that would only provide temporary relief for consumers. The Wall Street Journal reports that the Biden administration may be willing to lift some sanctions against Venezuela to allow it to resume oil exports. We come back, we're stepping back in time. It's our Traveler Throwback Thursday.
We head to 1990 in Dodgeville, where we meet a man who could fix everything, or at least he tried to. Stay with us.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
It's A1 Furniture's anniversary sale with up to 43% off store-wide and 43 months free financing. Plus, get tax included on purchases over $9.99. Huge selection in stock now at A1 Furniture.
Madison's locally owned family furniture store.
Stop whitening your smile the old-fashioned way with strips and trays that can take 30 minutes to an hour. I'm Jonathan Greenhut, the CEO of Power Swabs. When I met Dr. Ginniker and he introduced me to Power Swabs and I saw how effective they were and how easy they were to use, I knew we had to share it with the world. Power Swabs was clinically studied to whiten natural teeth as well as stain caps, crowns, and veneers. It's so effective, it works on stains caused by coffee, tea, red wine, and even smoking. For those of you who have that one stained tooth that's darker than the rest, Power Swabs can target that area using swab precision.
I really love the fact that you're able to go individually on each tooth and make sure that it's going to be wider.
If you have yellowing between your teeth, if you have coffee or tea stains near your gum line, just snap, swab, and smile. And in each 5-minute application, you'll see whiter teeth. So stop whitening your smile the old-fashioned way with strips and trays that can take 30 minutes to an hour. And start using the PowerSwab's 5-minute solution. Just snap, swab, and smile.
After just 7 days, the results were awesome. PowerSwabs was easy to use every day, and each day I could see it better and better, and from beginning to end, it's definitely whiter. They look clean, they feel clean, and people have made comments about it, which is nice.
Call for your 5-minute solution to whiter teeth. Order PowerSwabs and receive up to 40% off the retail price. And as an added bonus, by ordering in response to this advertisement, get a free PowerSwabs Quick Stick pen with your order. The Quick Stick pen is your on-the-go solution to help prevent stains from adhering to your teeth after drinking coffee, tea, or even after smoking. And in addition to saving up to 40% on your purchase and your free Quick Stick pen, get free shipping by ordering now. Dial the number on your screen or visit powerswabs.com today.
Most senators couldn't tell you the cost of a gallon of milk. Thanks, Ruben. Or how much beef has gone up this year. But I'm not like most senators or any of the other millionaires running for Senate. My mom was a teacher and my dad worked third shift. I know how hard you work. And I know that by bringing manufacturing home, we create jobs and we lower costs. If we want to change Washington, we got to change the people we send there. I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
Don't miss A1 Furniture's anniversary sale. Save up to 43% off name brand mattresses and get 43 months free financing. Plus, get tax included on purchases over $9.99. Huge selection in stock now at A1 Furniture.
Madison's locally owned family furniture store.
Well, every kindergartner in the Madison School District is receiving a special gift to celebrate reading all year long.
Over the next couple of weeks, each student will receive a small library of their very own books to keep and bring home. Madison School District is receiving the books through a collaboration with the Madison Public Schools Foundation and the Madison Reading Project. We stopped by Nuestro Mundo, the community school in Monona, today to talk to 3 kindergarten classes who are receiving their books today.
When kids see that people are willing to come out and support them, they understand how important they are in the community, they understand that school is important and that their education is important, and it's just fun for them.
Funding for this project is provided through the Karen C. Raggetts Teacher Support Endowment Fund. Mrs. Raggetts was a longtime Madison school teacher. She's teaching English as a second language at Thoreau Elementary School. Each student's books bundle will include multilingual books, a nod to Mrs. Raggetts' teaching career.
It'll make for a fun evening with a new present. The House Select Committee investigating the January 6th Capitol insurrection has announced a rescheduled date for its next public hearing. It is now scheduled for 1 week from today, Thursday, October 13th, starting at noon local time. The committee was originally set to hold a public hearing at the end of September, but it had to cancel because of Hurricane Ian. This will be the panel's 10th hearing.
President Biden traveled to upstate New York to meet with workers and tour an IBM facility. The president's trip is focusing on what he calls a manufacturing boom nationwide. He's crediting the recently passed bipartisan CHIPS and Science Act for spurring semiconductor production here in the U.S. IBM says it'll invest $20 billion over the next decade to manufacture semiconductors and other technology.
This is about economic security, folks. It's about national security. It's about good paying jobs.
A new Monmouth poll out this week reported more than 80% of Americans ranked inflation as a top issue, while only 3 in 10 said they approve of the president's handling of inflation. With the balance of power in Congress at stake, President Biden heads to New Jersey tomorrow or this evening for a Democratic fundraiser.
Amazon is looking to hire some holiday help. The company says it hopes to add 150,000 new staffers nationwide. The job openings include full-time, seasonal, and part-time positions with an average pay of $19 per hour. Analysts expect the holiday shopping season will be impacted by inflation as shoppers navigate higher prices for food and other necessities.
Stocks lost ground today as the September jobs report looms. The Dow Industrials fell 346 points, closing at 29,926. The NASDAQ was off 75 points. The S&P 500 dropped 38.
Well, we live in a throwaway society these days.
But there was a time when we fixed things, or at least tried to. Here's this week's Traveler Throwback Thursday.
You know what happens when things quit working. You pound on it, you try to fix it, but you probably just toss it. But in small-town America, seems a lot of people would rather fix it than throw it away. And that's good news for Donald Berg. The sign outside his shop, "We fix everything."
We give it a try, yes.
Don's small shop is packed with VCRs and TVs, appliances for which time has stopped. Don's job is to try to get them working again.
We do the best we can.
People bring in CB radios, 8-track tape players. Need an old vacuum tube? Don has boxes of old ones and very old ones.
We'll never find a use for it, I guarantee it.
You can't throw it away.
No, we got to hang on to that.
The problem with a lot of things today is they cost more to repair than to replace.
And a lot of times, I guess the biggest problem is if it's an economical, like that toaster. The toaster is $15 for a thermostat, and you can replace the whole toaster for $9.
But still, they bring in old lamps needing a new switch, drills needing a new motor, a sander with a broken gear. Don gives it a shot. He may have to make a part from scratch, but he just hates throwing anything away.
It's kind of an old idea where people repair everything. And I think with the problems of our landfills becoming filled and so on, that there should be a need for this eventually. But maybe we're a little before our time again now. I don't know.
Maybe the time will come when it'll be more economical and more environmental to get things fixed rather than throw them away. Don Berg is looking toward the future. He's not trying to change it. He just wants to fix it. Traveling in Dodgeville, I'm Mark Kane, WISC News 3.
And that's a big movement again, trying to fix things.
I wish I had those skills.
I know.
And I wish he was still around. I've got a whole list of things I could bring over.
You know, my mother had a refrigerator for like 45 years.
Yeah.
My last one lasted 6, I think.
Right, I know. It's a different era. It's true. It's really true.
Well, there's more to come at 4. If there's an election in November, chances are good there'll be an October surprise.
We'll find out if those surprises make any difference at the ballot box coming up after Greg's much cooler forecast.
With Pick and Save Fresh Perks, it's easy to get lower than low prices for the win. You also earn fuel points on every purchase to save big at the pump. Pick and Save Fresh Perks. All you do is win big, big savings. Pick and Save. Fresh for everyone.
Remember this? Forecasts are predicting an unreasonably cold and snowy winter. Now's the time to winter-proof your home with USA Insulation. 35% more efficient than traditional insulation. Our foam in your walls keeps the cold air out and your warm air in. It's like putting a coat around your entire home. Call now before winter and get a $500 early bird discount.
USA Insulation.
Lean back and save at the Century House. Right now, buy stressless recliners, sofas, or office chairs and get up to $1,500 credit towards the purchase of more. Or save $400 on stressless signature-based recliners and ottomans and motorized classic power recliners. Don't wait. Take the opportunity to fill your home with stressless comfort for less. Shop the Century House, 3420 University Avenue in Madison.
Mandela Barnes is spreading a lot more than just peanut butter. Barnes didn't pay thousands in property taxes on his Milwaukee condo, bought with family money. While not paying property taxes, Barnes bought a second condo, went to Vegas, even sat courtside for a Bucks game. Asked about his unpaid taxes, Barnes said,
It's Juneteenth. Hey, it's Juneteenth. They want to talk about property tax.
Now Barnes wants to talk about peanut butter. Senate Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Fry Construction wants to thank you for once again voting us Best of Madison 3 years running with 27% off gutters or insulation. Your neighbors already know how we strive to meet and exceed expectations with each and every project. That's why they voted us Best of Madison 3 years in a row. Experience the Best of Madison for yourself with Fry Construction. Save 27% off gutters or insulation with any full roof replacement project. Schedule your consultation today at fryconstruction.com.
Most senators couldn't tell you the cost of a gallon of milk. Thanks, Ruben. Or how much beef has gone up this year. But I'm not like most senators or any of the other millionaires running for Senate. My mom was a teacher, and my dad worked third shift. I know how hard you work. And I know that by bringing manufacturing home, we create jobs and we lower costs. If we want to change Washington, we got to change the people we send there. I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
With the Pick and Save app, no matter where you order free pickup, you get the same great deals as you'd get in our stores. So start your cart today.
Whenever, wherever.
Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
Take a look at this. Here's a unique perspective of halftime at the Packers-Patriots game this past Sunday at Lambeau. Kurt Lauder is a sergeant first class with the United States Army Special Operations Command. He's part of the Black Daggers, a special parachute demonstration team. And this special jump ended right in the middle of the stadium. You can actually hear the crowd cheering as he gets closer.
That's a great shot, isn't it? Look at that.
Lambeau Field never looked so good. And I guess they had the smoke there, so they sort of knows where to go.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, that is so cool. That is really something.
Did they tackle him when he landed?
Not like that one guy.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
Cool.
We're like just continuing to watch it. We don't want to just stop.
Just let that run. All right, well, the big change is here.
Yeah, it's going to be colder. Definitely don't leave your windows open like you've already had.
All the last 3 days, I've had the windows open.
Yeah, I won't do that the next couple days.
When you wake up in the morning, it's cold. You got the puppies.
Cold. And we'll show you how much colder it's going to get, especially by Saturday morning after the break.
Join Planet Fitness today and get more epic energy and better sleep with tons of equipment in our clean and spacious clubs. Join for $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Friday, October 14th.
Nothing beats a great night's sleep on a new Tempur-Pedic mattress from Steinhoffels. Tempur-Pedic is designed to make aches and pains a thing of the past by relieving pressure points and supporting the body as no other mattress can. Queen Tempur-Pedic start at just $24.49. Plus, get $300 in Steinhoffels cash. You can rest easy when you take advantage of Steinhoffels special financing. Isn't it time you got a great night's sleep? Relax. It's Steinhoffels.
There's a reason big dental bills often come as a shock, because sometimes you don't realize what's not covered until you get the bill. That's why affordable dental insurance from Physicians Mutual is important. It can give you benefits that go beyond what you get from more limited coverage plans. Because no one likes a big dental bill, especially if you're retired or on a fixed income. For a free information kit, call or go online now. This isn't some discount plan or preventive-only coverage. This is real dental insurance that helps cover over 350 procedures, like cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, root canals, even dentures, at any dentist you want. Dental insurance from Physicians Mutual Insurance Company helps cover preventive care, basic work, and major procedures, with no deductibles and no annual maximum. For your free information kit with all the details, call now or visit sendinfokit.com.
Physicians Mutual, Physicians Mutual.
Tim Michael's company has been sued numerous times for sexual assault and harassment in the workplace. But he says
people love working at Michael's.
Women said they were groped, assaulted, and pressured to have sex with their bosses.
We have a great work culture.
Higher-ups called the women liars and fired those who spoke out. So when he says this,
we have a great work culture,
know that the culture comes from the top.
Join Planet Fitness today and get more epic energy and better sleep with tons of equipment in our clean and spacious clubs. Join for $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Friday, October 14th.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Yeah, we're tracking that cold front that actually has brought in the colder air and actually the winds too. It's actually further to the south now. It's actually into the Chicago area right now. We had at least a little bit of a line of showers earlier today, but it kind of fell apart. Most of the area stayed dry, but now we're just starting to get the winds and that cooler air that's starting to really just purge southward into our area. Even cold enough that you get good lake effect showers over Lake Superior, even some snow that they might see up in the UP later tonight. So something there. You can see there's your little line of showers that came through. Not much, just cloud cover really what we're going to deal with. There's your showers that we're dealing from the lake effect off of Lake Superior. Not going to be a factor for us. But big temperature drop. Not so much right now here, but further to the north, we're talking 20 to 30 degree difference between today and yesterday's temperatures. That's what we're going to see tomorrow with our high temperatures struggling to get up. Overall, futurecast for the wide view just shows we're going to deal with the winds and really some cloud cover tomorrow. A little bit less cloud tonight. Allow temperatures to drop. The winds will drop off, but still be somewhat breezy. And then tomorrow we'll see more cloud cover develop in the afternoon. Winds will pick up. But then you see by Saturday, we start to see winds turn more westerly, and that is going to allow us to start warming up a little bit for Saturday. And Sunday, we look like we may see some stronger winds come Saturday, but the good news, it's out of the west, so that'll be warmer. So future check shows our temperatures falling back down into the 50 by 8 p.m., upper 40s, even lower 40s as you go further north. Still cloud cover in the winds. They will start to die off by about 10 p.m., but still 10 miles per hour, 15 miles per hour we'll deal with. Then you see the temperatures lowering into the 40s to near 30s by the time you get up tomorrow morning. The winds will keep up, which that will allow maybe the temperatures to stay above freezing at least tonight. Tomorrow, cloud cover may come back in the afternoon. Not expecting any showers or anything with that, but that will keep the temperatures, as you see, overall 40s, 50s degrees. Tomorrow also about 14 degrees where we should be. Lighter winds, but still breezy. Winds, now speaking of the winds, we're going to see those winds, as you saw over time, decrease tonight, but still overnight, we're still going to see 5 to 10 miles per hour. So when you wake up, you'll still have a north breeze blowing, even with temperatures in the upper 30s, low 40s, so it will be quite chilly tomorrow morning. So you see temperatures tomorrow, only 51 in Madison, barely making close to 50 in Camp Douglas, so cloudy, kind of breezy day. Overall, like I said, it's going to be kind of cold. And then you look at the 7-day, we're looking at temperatures warming back up for Saturday and to Sunday, back to the mid-60s. We might have a slight chance for rain Sunday night, but the best shot looks to be coming next week with another system. That could be similar to this one, where we have a brief warm-up near 70. It comes Wednesday morning, and then we cool back down to the mid-50s back on Thursday, which is, like I said, this is not unusual for this October, but it's probably the coldest air that we've seen all year. So
it's a nice gradual trend down, though. Instead, sometimes this time of year we go off a cliff.
So far. We do have, like I said, frost freeze probably is going to be likely Saturday morning. Temperatures upper 20s for some areas, low 30s. So the growing season will be over.
Or cover it up.
You can cover up, bring it back inside. You still have warm.
60s.
If you don't, well, then it won't be there.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Greg.
Well, it may or may not be a game changer, but the 11th hour scandal surrounding Georgia Senate candidate Herschel Walker is just the latest in a long history of the October surprise before a November election.
CNN's Eva McKend reports.
It's October. Leaves begin to change color, the weather starts to chill. But in the world of politics, it's when campaigns start to heat up, and it's when unexpected news or events often occur during the election cycle, commonly known as an October surprise. A game-changing event that can possibly damage one candidate's chances and boost the others. October surprises have been around for decades, and it is part of U.S. politics, even before the term was used politically. Going back 50 years to 1972, President Richard Nixon's national security advisor, Henry Kissinger, has late news about the unpopular Vietnam War.
We believe that peace is at hand.
He was wrong, and the war wouldn't come to a close for 2.5 more years. In 1980, in what was the October surprise that never happened, 52 U.S. hostages held in Iran were not released before the election, despite President Jimmy Carter's efforts. Instead, they were set free as soon as Ronald Reagan was inaugurated. In 92, Reagan's successor, George H.W. Bush, seeking re-election, was days away from the vote when a top Reagan team member, Caspar Weinberger, was indicted over the Iran-Contra affair. Bill Clinton took the White House. In 2000, in what was already a tight presidential race between Vice President Al Gore and then Texas Governor George W. Bush, news emerged that Bush was arrested 24 years earlier for drunk driving. Bush lost the popular vote, although he ultimately won the presidency following a controversial Supreme Court decision. 8 years later, with the stock market taking a nosedive and recession rearing its ugly head, GOP presidential nominee John McCain insisted,
"Fundamentals of our economy are strong."
Voters disagreed with this assessment, and what was once a tight race became a Democratic blowout, with Barack Obama winning. In 2012, in what was more of a September surprise than an October surprise, audio tape of Republican presidential nominee Mitt Romney surfaced, characterizing almost half the voters as dependent on government handouts.
There are 47% of the people who will vote for the president no matter what.
President Obama went on to win re-election. In 2016, in what seemed like every event constituted as an October surprise, the Washington Post published a 2005 video of Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump boasting about being able to grab women by their genitals.
You know, I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. You just kiss. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Grab them by the can do anything.
Trump's Democratic challenger Hillary Clinton also faced scrutiny when the FBI reopened an investigation into her staff's use of a private email server.
We can be sure that what is in those emails is absolutely devastating.
They will reach the same conclusion they did when they looked at my emails for the last year. There is no case here.
And during the 2020 presidential election, where it was a true October surprise, Trump, along with the First Lady, tested positive for coronavirus, days after the first presidential debate with Joe Biden.
My wife Jill and I prayed that they'll make a quick and full recovery.
And while Trump tried to make his own October surprise in the closing days of his campaign, it all but fizzled, from a pre-election vaccine to a massive new stimulus package.
Oh, something is
fascinating history.
It really is fascinating. Well, coming up next year on Live at 4, Sesame Street is going off Broadway to provide those with autism a special treat.
And then coming up next hour at 5, today Madison Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway shared her strong stance on the ruling which made drop-off ballot boxes illegal. Our Catherine Merck will tell us more.
Welcome to Dwellings.
Shop our fabulous showroom, Hard Rock Road, Fitchburg.
Knauf makes reliable and sustainable home insulation in America. We make it with recycled glass and our patented formaldehyde-free bio-based binder. As energy costs continue to rise, Knauf insulation is a smarter product that can lower your home's energy bill. And Menards makes it easy to find the right fiberglass insulation for your project. Stop by your area Menards today and look for eco-friendly Knauf home insulation. Knauf, for the world we live in. Visit Menards for your 11% off today.
Don't miss Schuster's Farm Fall Harvest, September 17th through October 31st.
Over 60 activities for all ages. Get lost in a corn maze. Enjoy barnyard animals and hay rides.
Over 14 acres of pumpkins, tasty eats and treats. Apple cider donuts, homemade pumpkin cake, caramel apples, craft beer, and wine.
Dare to enter our haunted forest. Schuster's Farm Fall Harvest, just east of Madison and Deerfield. Visit schustersfarm.com for details.
I'm Sheriff Jim Johnson.
I'm Sheriff Eric Severson.
We've got the real story on Mandela Barnes.
Barnes wants to defund our police, but he spent over $600 grand of your money on police protection for himself.
Barnes wants to eliminate bail for violent felons, and his administration has already released over 800 criminals, including 44 child rapists.
Take it from us.
Mandela Barnes policies are a threat to your family.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
Solid core composite frame, triple pane windows.
Solid core composite frame, triple pane windows.
Solid core composite frame, triple pane windows. From Scott the Window Guy at AHT Wisconsin Window.
I'm Scott the Window Guy from AHT Wisconsin Windows. Our solid core composite frame triple pane window is the most energy efficient window made for Wisconsin, no matter what the season.
Get free installation on any door or window purchase at scottthewindowguy.com.
Welcome to Dwellings.
Shop our fabulous showroom, Hard Rock Road, Fitchburg.
New at 5, numerous politically charged ads have been flooding Wisconsin residents in various mediums. Newsreel now investigates the rules dictated by the FCC for creating and running campaign commercials.
Colder weather is moving in from the northwest, sweeping out our earlier showers. We'll see dry weather through the weekend, but Friday night should be the coldest night this fall with widespread frost likely. I'll let you know how cold it'll get at 5.
The city of Madison has made an artistic change to its drop boxes after they were deemed illegal. Tonight, the mayor weighs in on its message.
Giving the weather satellite a spin. Ooh, pretty day in New York City.
It's a beautiful day in the Big Apple.
Sun's out.
What's the temperature?
73 degrees. Yep, just perfect. Speaking of the Big Apple, an off-Broadway show in New York featuring Sesame Street favorites also features some special performances.
Elmo, Cookie Monster, Grover, and others take part in sensory-friendly shows.
CBS's Dave Carlin went behind the scenes of Sesame Street, the musical.
Ooh, spotlight. I saw Cookie Monster.
Compelled to sing along? Go right ahead at Sesame Street the Musical.
Did you like the show?
Yes or no?
Yeah.
His favorite, Elmo, is here. And Bert and Ernie, and Grover, and more.
When you're sitting in the audience and you get to hear Rubber Ducky and see the Cookie and see Cookie Monster up there and see Elmo up there doing his thing, Rosita strumming a guitar, it's really magical.
Earlier this year, Sesame Workshop celebrated the 5th anniversary of its Sesame Street and Autism. See Amazing in All Children. The musical is hosting sensory-friendly performances.
We have the lights at the right levels. We have the sound levels correct, so nothing is overwhelming from a sensory perspective. They're really special performances. You can see that people are really overjoyed that they're able to bring the whole family along, and it's for everybody.
Love to eat cookie. Sometimes eat whole. Sometimes me chew it. Big finish.
The runtime is an hour for fun you can count on. Dave Carlin, CBS News.
And the CDC estimates 1 in every 44 children has an autism spectrum disorder in the United States. Well, if you have a pet question, now is the time to pick up the phone.
The number to call, 608-270-9933. Dr. Carrie Donahue will take your calls when Live at 4 continues. We'll be right back.
Briggs and I here at the Bruce Company. We have our beautiful backdrop.
I know, isn't this cute? It's our little fall cabin.
It's darling. You look darling too.
Thank you, as do you.
Now, let's talk about how you can beautify your space, because long gone are the days of the
I know
annual.
It still feels like it's a little bit summer, but it is now officially fall. And if your containers, say, are looking a little mingy, then you can pop in some fall plants that do well at this time of year, like this guy right here. So we've got some kale, we've got some chrysanthemums, popped in a little gourd here for some extra color.
So cute.
It is really cute. I love fall. It's my favorite season.
And if this is too much, just come and get your standard big, beautiful mums, because that also just sets the stage.
They're like the size of a footstool.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of big, we got this big boy.
Yeah, so we've got lots of different kinds of pumpkins here. Some that are good for carving, like this one too many is what it's called. Some that you can't really carve, like gourds. But I love this one. It's my favorite because it's soft and really easy to carve, and the seeds are big.
Okay, so for kids, this would be a great choice.
This is a great choice for kids.
Now let's talk about your annual event coming up. It's a pretty big year for it.
It is. This is our 10th annual Fall Fest, Family Fall Fest. It's a great event. It is Saturday, October 8th from 10 until 2. We've got a petting zoo, so your kids can pet adorable animals, get their faces painted, paint some little mini pumpkins. The balloon twisting guy will be here. And this year, since it's new, it's the 10th anniversary, we have a new thing. So we've got some food trucks that'll be here. So you can feed baby animals and feed your kids. All the same event.
I love it. Come out to the Bruce Company this fall. I'm Emmy Fink, Lisa Briggs.
And we're buzzed into Madison.
Ta-da.
Ta-da.
Reducing prison populations is now sexy. Reducing prison populations is now sexy.
Sexy? Mandela Barnes's administration has released over 800 criminals, including 44 child rapists. That's not sexy. It's terrifying. And as a mother, I don't want Mandela Barnes anywhere near the Senate. From defunding our police to releasing predators, Mandela Barnes is a threat to Wisconsin families.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
The culture wars never lowered the cost of anything, and overturning Roe v. Wade won't take a single criminal off the street. But Tim Michaels has a culture war agenda. He'd ban abortion with no exceptions for rape or incest, and jail doctors who perform them. And he said gay people shouldn't leave their house. That's his agenda. Tony Evers has a real plan to fire up the economy, create good-paying jobs, and get things done. That's the right plan for Wisconsin.
Yeah, so far no incidents to speak of, really. We just have the congestion, normal congestion in the belt line that we would expect at this time of day right now. With if we zoom in, you can still see that overall everything is going good. We haven't seen just a few disabled vehicles. Other than that, no crashes. We go to the north, nothing on the interstate up here. And as we zoom back down to Janesville, we're actually looking good too. So just a reminder, with the winds north-northwest, if you're on those west-east runway, not runways, but roads, just be careful if you got high-profile vehicles. It will be blowing a little bit harder today, and it will be a little bit quieter tomorrow night. So that's it for traffic, guys.
Driven on the Beltline, apparently, with the runway. Thanks, Greg. Yeah. Instead of being sent to the principal's office, students at a school in Washington State sent their principal to the roof. Walt Clemens made a wager. If students and their parents could raise $50,000 for the school, he'd spend the day on top of the building. Apparently, they raised the money, which will be used to pay for school trips and activities.
Good for them, and he's got a nice view up there.
Thanks, Dave. Well, it's time to get your pet questions answered live.
The number to call, 608-270-9933. It's a great day to call. We've got 3 or 4 lines open. Dr. Carrie Donahue from Full Circle Holistic Veterinary Care is back with us. Hi, Carrie. Good to see you. How you doing?
Doing well.
A lot of people are having trouble getting appointments at veterinarians because there's a shortage now and so many people with pets. So any advice?
Well, I think, plan ahead as much as you can. If you know that your pet is coming due for vaccines, don't wait until even the week that they are due, but a month, 2 months in advance, trying to get into your clinic is the best thing that you can do. And yeah, it is tough out there, especially if you have an emergency, but luckily we have some really great emergency facilities here in Madison where you can get in quickly if you need to. But it's a challenge.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
It really is. And a lot of people got pets during the pandemic. So
I know, so many pets, so many, issues that pop up, and it always happens, and you have to get in someplace.
Yep.
So.
All right, well, we have a vet right here for you. So let's get to the phones. We'll start with Irene in Reeseville. Hi, Irene.
So I have a Shih Tzu that we rescued about 10 years ago, and he is just licking and licking himself, and I really don't know what to do anymore.
Chewing on his paws?
Yes, his paws mainly.
I hear you.
Yeah, Mark has 2 of them.
Well, I just have 1 now.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know, and that can be a real problem, especially this time of year with allergy season, and in the fall, we're right in the middle of it. So anything that your little guy is kind of walking around in outside, coming into contact with, can be irritating. So they start licking themselves, especially on the paws. If it seems like it's continuing through the fall and into the winter months, it might be something inside that's, bothering him instead. And you really have to kind of look at everything that you use inside the house. Cleaners, things you put on your carpet, anything can cause irritation for pets. So see how that goes and kind of reevaluate what you've got inside. You can always, whenever your dog comes in from being outside, just do a wipe down. You can get special pet wipes at the pet store and wipe down in between the toes, on the paws, and even full body, just to clean anything off that might be on there.
Okay.
Well, thank you so very much.
All right, thanks for calling.
Thank you for calling.
And there are medications, too, if it's allergies.
If it is allergies, we have a lot of medications that can be used that are very effective for the itchiness.
All right, that's good to hear. Let's go to Beverly in Reedsburg. Hi, Beverly. What's your question?
Beverly, you there?
Yes, I am. My question is it behavioral when a cat, if I don't let my cat out in the morning, she will poop on the floor?
Oh, yeah. I know, and that's a tough thing to figure out. Is it a behavioral issue, or is it something else that might be causing your cat to do that? So it's always good to do, kind of keep up with your wellness visits or go into the vet to have an exam done, maybe have some blood work done, check a fecal sample, make sure that there's nothing going on that you could treat. And if all those are okay, then you say, well, okay, this might be a behavioral issue. And you can do more litter boxes. You can there's a litter attractant, kind of like herbal powder that you can put on the litter that makes cats want to use the litter box more. So you might try some of those other things.
All right, let's go to Kevin in Madison. Hi, Kevin. What's your question?
Hi, my name's Kevin, and I've got my little dog Rainbow. She's about a 12-year-old Bashan, and I'm trying to figure out how to. I rescued her last winter, and I'm trying to figure out how to keep the brown off of her fur, off her legs, on her face. And the other thing is about her stinky breath.
Well, stinky breath is teeth cleaning.
Yeah, definitely. If you start to notice that your pet has kind of an odor coming from the mouth, take a good look in there. A lot of the tartar tends to build up on the back, the upper premolars and molars, so there might be something going on that a dental cleaning could really help with.
And the staining is?
The staining is something, especially with little white dogs, if the eyes water at all, once that tear kind of comes into contact with the air, it turns that brownish color. So keeping up with wiping those. There is a product, I think it's called Angel Eyes, maybe.
There's a food supplement.
And a food supplement. Sometimes probiotics can even help because it is kind of a bacterial reaction. So, even besides just wiping and keeping up with that, it might just be something that you have to deal with for your dog.
You deal with that with Oliver, don't you?
Yeah.
The staining.
He's got the staining.
Yeah.
All right, we are out of time. Thank you all for calling in. Carrie?
Carrie, great to see you.
See you next month.
Yes, sounds good.
Well, final check of your forecast coming up.
Ashley's Ultimate Sale is going on now. Shop in store today and get ultimate discounts. Clearance items are up to 78% off. Plus, get a bonus 10% off our sale prices at checkout. Don't miss these ultimate savings. Only at Ashley.
Mandela Barnes is spreading a lot more than just peanut butter. Barnes didn't pay thousands in property taxes on his Milwaukee condo, bought with family money. While not paying property taxes, Barnes bought a second condo, went to Vegas, even sat courtside for a Bucks game. Asked about his unpaid taxes, Barnes said,
It's Juneteenth. Y'all, hey, it's Juneteenth. They want to talk about property tax.
Now Barnes wants to talk about peanut butter. Senate Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
With Choice Hotels, there's always a reason to book it. Whatever your reason, save 20% when you stay 2 or more nights at participating locations. Book direct at choicehotels.com. Terms and conditions apply.
I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
Ron Johnson caught lying. Independent fact checks call his attacks on Mandela Barnes false and misleading. But it's Johnson's views that are alarming. Johnson supported a ban on abortions. He co-sponsored a bill that makes no exceptions for rape, incest, or the life of the woman. And Johnson said if women don't like it, they can move. The truth is, it's Ron Johnson who doesn't belong in Wisconsin.
Ashley's Ultimate Sale is going on now. Shop in store and get the ultimate mattress discounts. Get 55% off select Beauty Rest mattresses. Plus, buy any Tempur-Pedic mattress and get $300 in free furniture. Don't miss these ultimate savings. Only at Ashley.
Coming up at 5, News 3 Now examines the rules used to guide creating and running political attack ads from the FCC. We'll hear from a journalism law expert to discuss the media's involvement in the process. That's tonight at 5.
local couple gets unemployment help during the pandemic and ends up accused of fraud.
It seems like the state would much rather have had us go out of business.
Naomi Coles learns what started their nightmare and why they're fighting back. News 3 Now investigates tonight at 6.
Yeah, as you go through your evening and overnight hours, some things to know as we go. Basically, cool temperatures falling into the 40s late this evening as the winds will decrease somewhat overnight, but still you'll have some wind as you wake up tomorrow morning. And as you wake up tomorrow morning, also the temperatures will be in the 30s, so just be aware that we could have some frost there. 7 to 10 day looks like the best chance for frost or freeze is going to be Sunday with the mild more temperatures, but it should be a dry weekend. That's a good news. And don't forget, we're coming up on the last few days of Coast for Kids, so please donate as you can, you guys.
All right, Greg, thank you. Well, a variety tomorrow on Live at 4. Our news hounds, Louie and Oliver, have the top animal stories of the week.
And we'll talk with UW grad Linda Thomas Greenfield. She is the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations. That's coming up tomorrow on Live at 4.
A 12-year-old girl can't legally drive a car. At 12, she can't even vote. But if this little girl were tragically raped or a victim of incest and became pregnant, radical Tim Michaels would force her to deliver the baby. He said it's, quote, not unreasonable for the state government to mandate rape victims to give birth. Would it be unreasonable if he were forcing this on you? Let him know on Election Day.
Stop whitening your smile the old-fashioned way with strips and trays that can take 30 minutes to an hour. I'm Jonathan Greenhut, the CEO of Power Swabs. When I met Dr. Ginniker and he introduced me to Power Swabs and I saw how effective they were and how easy they were to use, I knew we had to share it with the world. Power Swabs was clinically studied to whiten natural teeth as well as stain caps, crowns, and veneers. It's so effective, it works on stains caused by coffee, tea, red wine, and even smoking. For those of you who have that one stained tooth that's darker than the rest, Power Swabs can target that area using swab precision.
I really love the fact that you're able to go individually on each tooth and make sure that it's going to be wider.
If you have yellowing between your teeth, if you have coffee or tea stains near your gum line, just snap, swab, and smile. And in each 5-minute application, you'll see whiter teeth. So stop whitening your smile the old-fashioned way with strips and trays that can take 30 minutes to an hour, and start using the Power Swabs 5-minute solution. Just snap, swab, and smile.
After just 7 days, the results were awesome. Power Swabs was easy to use every day, and each day I could see it better and better, and from beginning to end, it's definitely whiter. They look clean, they feel clean. And people have made comments about it, which is nice.
Call for your 5-minute solution to whiter teeth. Order Power Swabs and receive up to 40% off the retail price. And as an added bonus, by ordering in response to this advertisement, get a free Power Swabs Quick Stick pen with your order. The Quick Stick pen is your on-the-go solution to help prevent stains from adhering to your teeth after drinking coffee, tea, or even after smoking. And in addition to saving up to 40% on your purchase and your free Quick Stick pen, get free shipping by ordering now. Dial the number on your screen or visit powerswabs.com today.
In today's Final Touch, there is a reason dogs are called man's best friend.
Turns out petting a dog is actually good for our brains. In a study that was just published by the journal PLOS One, researchers put brain scanners on people and had them pet a stuffed animal and a live dog. There was a big boost in brain activity when the person got to pet the pup. Specifically, the frontal cortex, that's the part of the brain that handles how we think and feel. As soft and cute as a stuffed animal may be, researchers think the real animal creates some emotional involvement, and that activates the brain. The research supports using animal therapy to help people with everything from emotional issues to nervous system conditions like strokes, seizure disorders, brain trauma, and infections. There's nothing like petting a dog.
That's for sure.
That's our time for now. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here again tomorrow. News 3 Now at 5 starts right now.